Hi, I'm Veronica Ellis, and today we will assess a conflict situation. Employees spend an average of 2.8 hours every week dealing with conflict, which adds up to billions of dollars in lost productivity worldwide. Personality clashes and egos make up 49% of the reasons for the conflict, according to CPP Global Human Capital Report, published in 2008. Workplace conflict is inevitable for most of us. Learning how to manage these situations turns disagreements into chances for personal growth, better performance, and stronger trust. With more than 20 years in the workforce, I have experienced workplace conflict firsthand. Addressing and resolving conflict promptly is important for protecting mental well-being, productivity, and job satisfaction. Today, I'm going to examine a common workplace issue and create a conflict diagnosis and analysis. We'll look at why the conflict persists and recommendations to resolve it. Lastly, I'll provide my final assessment of the conflict. First and foremost, we will diagnose and analyze the situation. Sheila, a restaurant manager, and Marcus, an employee, are in a conflict over Marcus's declining performance and Sheila's increased supervision. 2 months ago, Marcus began arriving late for work, missing meetings, and forgetting small tasks. After his performance continued to decline, Sheila began monitoring him more closely. Marcus now feels targeted and believes Sheila wants him fired, creating tension, hostility, and poor communication. Sheila and Marcus both hold surface-level views of the conflict. Sheila sees Marcus's performance declining despite her private warning and may believe he no longer cares about his job, the restaurant, or her. Marcus, however, may be struggling personally, which affects his work and increases his sense of pressure. As Sheila's scrutiny grows, Marcus feels more watched and targeted. Because neither explains the reason behind the perceptions, both contribute a negative conflict spiral, where each interprets the other's communication as negative, threatening, interfering, and intense. As manager, Sheila has designated power over Marcus, which may make him hesitant to share personal issues. He may hide bad news or keep communication strictly formal because of this imbalance. But Marcus also has power. He has expertise power, and that makes him valuable to the restaurant. So retaining and reforming him may benefit the business more than firing him. The communication climate between Sheila and Marcus is defensive rather than supportive. Sheila noted Marcus's slipping performance without asking why, and later pointed out his mistakes in front of others. Marcus also failed to explain his decline or seek some kind of solution, even though he is responsible for meeting job expectations and addressing ongoing problems. Now, why does this problem persist and recommendations to resolve it? So the conflict remains unresolved because neither party is showing any kind of empathy, understanding, respect, or support for the other. Both misread each other's motives, and Sheila's authority makes Marcus hesitant to communicate openly. The pattern is as follows: poor to no communication, lack of understanding or support, fear and anxiety over losing their respective jobs, communication tension. In this situation, mediation would be the most effective way to address the conflict because both have something at stake. They would benefit from speaking with a neutral third party. A mediator could begin by helping them recognize their interdependence and shared concern for job security. From there, the mediator could guide a discussion about why Marcus's performance has declined. This process may also help Sheila learn more tactful ways to support employees while maintaining productivity and morale. Mediation could also improve how both parties communicate. It may help them recognize destructive patterns, reconsider their perceptions of each other and the situation, understand the power that each holds, and acknowledge their responsibilities to their coworker. Sheila and Marcus may continue to struggle if either person lacks empathy or remains unwilling to move forward. If they hold on to resentment and refuse to forgive or reconcile, the conflict may persist. However, if Marcus explains the reason for his declining performance and Sheila responds with empathy while recognizing, hey, he does have this strong record as an employee, they may be able to resolve the conflict. Sheila could also create a performance plan with scheduled follow-ups to monitor progress. Based on those follow-ups, Sheila can then evaluate Marcus's performance and determine the appropriate next steps. So the final assessment. The conflict between Sheila and Marcus involved a negative conflict spiral. Marcus failed to explain his reason for the declining performance, and Sheila did not ask. Marcus felt Sheila scrutinized every mistake he made. Both parties had fear and anxiety over their jobs, creating communication tension. Through mediation, Sheila and Marcus can better understand each other's perspectives and challenges. Depending on Marcus's explanation, Sheila may respond with empathy and help him get back on track by using performance goals, clear expectations, and appropriate consequences. Sheila could also offer resources, time, coaching as needed. Moving forward, both parties can agree on a communication approach that supports accountability and reduces conflict. So as I conclude, let's briefly recap the key points. Today we created a conflict assessment of a common workplace issue using the example of Sheila, a restaurant manager, and Marcus, an employee. I created a conflict diagnosis and analysis, looked at the reasons why the conflict persisted, and recommendations to resolve it. Lastly, I provided my final assessment. So entering the job market isn't just about what you know, it's about how well you work with others. When an average employee loses 2.8 hours of a week to friction, the ability to resolve conflict becomes a massive competitive advantage. By mastering this skill now, you protect your productivity and position yourself for rapid leadership promotion. Thank you.